a lot of people are saying the Niners need to sign Drew Dalman. Give me a free agent that if I said to you, you know what, you can go sign one or two free agents of significance, because we don't know how this Purdy contract is going to pencil out. But if it pencils out favorably in year one, it may enable the 49ers to actually make a significant addition in free agency, which is also why I think it's going to get done before free agency. So I think, March 1st to March 12th, I think somewhere in that window, Purdy's deal gets done before free agency, which would be great because it would allow them to know what they have to spend. Who do you want to spend it on?
I don't want to spend it on Dre Greenlaw, and I would let him go, even though he's like the heart and soul of the team. I love that, but I don't know that he can make it through a game, let alone a season, without getting hurt again. And I would rather let him go somewhere else to a team that's younger and can sort of take that risk and sign Jamien Sherwood, who was the weak side linebacker for solid the last few years and on the Jets. He just led the league in solo tackles. He seems like a good player. I think he even tore his Achilles a few years ago, but he's younger and probably cheaper. So I would like to see him go get a weak side linebacker, a starting weak side linebacker who's a little younger than Greenlaw, and then a free safety. Like, instead of, they're probably going to let Talanoa Hufanga go. And they could sign Julian Blackmon, who is the free safety for the Colts. Gus Bradley's the connection. Now he's over here. They got to address the middle of their defense. And they probably should sign a D tackle too. If they want to go out and get DJ Jones, you already know he fits the defense. He might be too expensive, but that'd be a hell of a signing. Those three guys right up the middle of your defense.
Yeah, I love those. I like your idea of Javon Holland from Oregon. Yeah. First of all, he's got the local ties. He's one of the youngest free agents in the entire marketplace.
Bishop O'Dowd, baby.
Yeah, he's Bishop O'Dowd. That's a great sign too. Local guy. Maybe he would be even willing to take a few less ducats to come back here. So he'd be one guy. DJ Jones, I love, and I've been won over by the Drew Dalman idea, just because I really do think the 49ers have to come out of this draft. They got to be better at the point on both sides. They got to be better stopping the run through the A gap, and they got to be better running the ball in the low red zone. They could go for an offensive guard, but they're probably going to be more of a day 3 type pick. If you get Drew Dalman, you get a starter and a guy. Yeah, you're going to have to pay him significant dollars, but I think Dalman, DJ Jones, and Javon Holland would be my 3 free agents if I could have.
Let's talk about Dalman for a second. He's interesting. I feel like there's going to be a robust market for him because he's a great scheme fit for the Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur offense, and that's very prevalent in the league. Like Seattle needs a center. They just got Clint Kubiak. They got Clint Kubiak, right? Who they get? Yeah. That's a team that could want him as well. So to get Drew Dalman, that could be 4 years, $50 million.
Yeah,
pardon?
Seattle wants to re-emphasize. They got rid of Ryan Grubb, and they're trying to re-emphasize the run game now.
Right. So there's going to be competition for his services. If they want to get him, it'll probably be 4 years, $50 million, which is great. Invest in your offensive line. And I know they'll say, well, we're investing in the quarterback. We're spending all this money on Brock. All the more reason to invest in the offensive line. I don't see how you can do one without the other, because that's what the Colts tried to do with Andrew Luck, and it ruined his career. You really have to protect your investment.
Yeah, that to me makes perfect sense. As far the other part of this, the one thing that we don't know right now is we don't know who in the league are going to be cap casualties, which could, add to the free agent market. And what do you think of these names? Because I read an article today on cap casualties in the league, and these were the 3 names that they had. They had Von Miller is potentially going to get cut by Buffalo, who's obviously a little long in the tooth. You have Zadarius Smith, who they say the Lions may wind up cutting. And that's interesting because, Zadarius Smith is a really talented guy. And who was the third guy they had there? Let me see if I can. Joey Bosa. They said, or Jair Alexander with Green Bay and Joey Bosa. Bosa's got a $36.4 million cap hit, according to Over the Cap. It's the highest cap hit for any edge rusher in the league this year, by the way. And he has only played in 28 of the 51 regular season games over the past 3 seasons, with 14 sacks combined over the last 3 years. But Bosa, Jair Alexander, Zadarius Smith, you interested in any of these guys as as cap casualties if they get cut?
Not really. Because instead of like bringing in another veteran corner to replace Isaac Yiadom, I'd like to see Darrell Luter Jr. get a chance because the Niners have had so many corners leave who never really got a real shot and then go elsewhere and flourish. So I don't know. I mean, Steve Wilks handpicked him. Steve Wilks really knows DBs. I'd like to see. We've seen Darrell Luter Jr. in practice. You liked him. I liked him. I like to see. So I know that wasn't really answering your question, but if they're going to get someone, not a corner, I want to see the young guy play a little bit of corner.
Somebody suggested yesterday on Twitter that he's not playing because of roster politics. I kind of pushed back and said, I don't know that it's roster politics because I just don't see what would be the advantage to sitting anybody who can play. I think it has more to do with kind of an obscure bone bruise that he had on the knee that just took a long time to heal. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I love Luter, and I loved his college film. And to me, he seems smart. He's mature. He's talented. He played a ton of man at South Alabama. It's like this guy's got to find his way to the field this year. I don't know. And if they wind up cutting him and he goes somewhere else and becomes Sam Womack, I'm going to grill Lynch badly on that one because you can't let Deshaun Jameson go 1 year, the next year let Sam Womack go, and the next year lose Darrell Luter, and then still be signing corners late in the year. So
when it comes to the roster politics, though, I think there is something to that. I think Kyle in particular tends to play the player who's getting paid over the guy who isn't. So Devondre Campbell playing over D. Winters all year. What was that about? Well, the Niners were paying Devondre Campbell a lot of money. And on a lot of teams, it's like, it doesn't matter. Who don't care if you're giving you $5 million, $10 million, we're playing the best player. But I think a lot of times with Kyle, it's like, well, Jed's, I don't know what the rationale is, but it's almost like he's trying to justify the fact that he got Jed to spend the money. I mean, he was legitimately starting Tevin Coleman over Raheem Mostert in the Super Bowl, even though everyone knew Raheem Mostert was better than Tevin Coleman. Why? They've done this for a while, and certain ex-players have talked about it. I don't know if it's as simple as roster politics, but there's something businessy about it that I don't quite understand.
To me, if you said, give me one 49er who's going to break out in 2025, I would say Luter. That would be the guy I'd say. Now, some people would say Pearsall. Maybe some might say Garendo or somebody else, but I think it's Darrell Luter. I think he'll bust out this year.
I think Malik Mustafa could have a Pro Bowl season. That guy.
Oh, how good
I like Malik.
Oh,
he's good.
So good. He's so good. Okay, couple last thoughts.
Renardo too. Renardo is good. That was a nice little draft they had last year. Renardo was good.
Well, I would love.
He should have been playing more last year.
Oh, he's great. He's great.
He's going to start this year, right? He'll start next to Lenore. Yeah,
no doubt. Not only will he start, I think he'll star.
I think so too.
I think Mustafa is maybe one of the most physical young safeties in the entire league. And if they could find one more kind of super,
if they add Jahdae Barron in 11, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all.
I mean, if he's Brian Branch, I'm all for it.
I know it's not the trenches, but he looks really good.
I mean, that's the one thing. The wild card at 11 might be Malachi Starks. You know, another Georgia kid who was just an amazing player, and he's a free safety. And it's like, well, how high do you draft a safety? Well, I don't know. I mean, Ronnie Lott was drafted pretty high, but he played corner, at first and then safety. But a lot teams don't like to draft safeties high unless they're stars. But
if you take a nickel that high, is a nickel more valuable than a safety? I mean, safeties get paid more than nickels.
I think the nickel is incredibly vitally important. I mean, look at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. The Eagles went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago with him. Then they kissed him off. He went to Detroit. They were horrendous on the back end. Then they got him back this year. They were the number one defense in football, and he's making big plays. So obviously he's got help. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, their whole front, Bond, and the whole rest.
Cooper DeJean, super big impact player. Trent McDuffie, slot guy. I mean, Diamondor Lodor just got paid because of that ability, and it'd be nice to have more than one guy who could do it.
No question. Because when you don't have this piece, it really is costly.